In this video, we are going to be looking at how you simplify ratios. Now, a ratio is something like this. 16 to 9, 5 to 3, 8 to 7 to 4. And what it means is when you're splitting or sharing between different people, it tells you how many items go to each person or each object or each thing. So for example, if we take the one on the right here, if we were splitting money, it would mean that person A would get $8, person B would get $7, and person C would get $4. We take one on the left, 16 to 9 means person A gets $16, person B gets $9, maybe you're looking at chocolates or candies or pens, whatever it is. Now, we can think of these like a fraction. Let's take a very basic example. Let's take 18 to 20. That means that for every 18 sweets person A gets, person B gets 20 sweets. If you think of it as a fraction, it's very, very similar. If I was going to simplify 18 to 20, what I would do is I would divide both sides by 2. I'd divide top and bottom and get 9 out of 10. Well, it's exactly the same with the ratio. You can divide 18 by 2 and get 9, and divide 20 by 2 and get 10. When you take the highest common factor out of the ratios, that will leave the ratio in the simplest form possible, and that's the end goal. So sometimes you may need to divide more than once. Let's take 12 to 16. Now, if you notice that you can divide both by 4, that's fine. You get 3 to 4. That's the end goal. However, if you don't, and you want to divide by 2 to start with, that's absolutely fine. If I divide by 2, I get 6 to 8. And then I could divide that by 2 again, and that would leave me with 3 to 4. Let's now do an example where we have more than 2. Let's say we have 15 to 20 to 25. You need to look at the numbers and consider what the highest number is that goes into all three of them, the greatest common factor. And obviously it's 5. So if I divide by 5, 15 divided by 5 is 3. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So my final ratio in its simplified form is 3 to 4 to 5. Now let's just think about what this means for a second. Simplifying ratios is like simplifying fractions, but we're not actually doing anything in particular. So let's take a very simple example. Let's take 8 to 10. That means that if person A gets 8 sweets, person B gets 10 sweets. If I simplify it down, I get 4 to 5. That means that for every 4 sweets person A gets, person B gets 5 sweets. But if I did it twice, I would still get 8 to 10. By simplifying ratios, you're not actually changing the proportion of the sweets. All we're doing is writing it in a much easier form. So that is how you simplify ratios. You look for the greatest common factor of all the numbers, and you divide each number by that highest common factor and write it in its most simplified form.